Most of the garbage in an average home will rot. A lot of it is kitchen waste, or a lot of it might be garden waste or green grass clippings or weeds. A lot of it is paper that can't be recycled. That being the case, we built something called the Edmonton Composting Facility, where all of Edmonton's garbage can go, where most of it will be composted, and the stuff that can't compost is screened out during the process. The first thing that happens is the garbage truck brings it to the composting facility and tips it onto a large concrete floor called the tipping floor. When it's on the tipping floor, a large front-end loader scatters the material on the floor even more, and then men go through it and remove things that can't be composted. Might be things like kitchen chairs or carpet or big pieces of metal or whatever, large things. Then the material goes into these large mixing drums, they're called. They're long tubes, about 240 feet long, and you can park 2 buses inside them, side by side, really wide as well. The material goes in there, and it goes from one end of the tube to the other end of the tube over the course of about 1 or 2 days. The tubes rotate really slowly, about 1 RPM. As the material inside rotates, it begins to break apart, and the composting process begins inside those tubes. At the end of those 2 days, it comes out the end of the tube and plops down onto a conveyor belt. And that conveyor belt takes the materials up into a large screening mechanism where we remove some of the stuff that can't decompose. That might be a shoe, clothing, plastics, that kind of thing. Also at that point, the material goes underneath a strong magnet. The magnet sucks up all of the steel things that we don't want going into the compost, tin cans, etc., etc. Then the material goes into this great big room called an aeration hall, and that's where most of the composting really takes place. All the material is scattered onto something that looks like a very large hockey rink. It stays there and composts inside there for about 1 month. After that composting process has taken place, the material is taken to a final screening room where even the smallest little bits of material are removed, and then it goes outside to a curing site where the composting process takes place for another 4 to 6 months. Once the curing has taken place, the compost is then ready to be used by farmers. We spread that onto farmers' fields. Compost in general improves soil quality. So if farmers use it, it will improve their yields and they can grow bigger, healthier crops.